another chill yo-yo stream, just hanging out and throwing some tricks. So I hope y'all enjoy, and welcome to the stream. I'm gonna just move these couple of things out of the way. Got a little bit in my way, but we're good. Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome, Yassine. Welcome, I Do Things. Appreciate y'all being here. Happy Wednesday. Second stream of the day. How y'all doing tonight? Not used to how fast the paper cut plays. It's been a while since I've played with it. It is indeed a W. 2 streams in one day. It's been something I've been trying to work towards, but we'll see how it goes. Were you on the stream last night, Yassine? We came up with a bunch of tricks together on the stream yesterday, which were a lot of fun. Like, for instance, we came up with a fun arm combo that's like based off of foray. And then a leg combo as well. Ah, that was close. It's been fun. You have one of them. How do you use it? Great question. I'm happy to help you learn. Is it a yo-yo that will come back when you tug? I'm happy to teach you how to do that. I've got one right here. Got a responsive yo-yo right here. So something that can be helpful when you're first starting out is you've got the knot tied at the top, right? Feed the main string through the loop from that knot, pull it through, and now you have an adjustable slip knot that can connect to your hand. Then from there, have the yo-yo in your hand with the string on the top as opposed to on the bottom of the yo-yo. Form a muscle with your arm, and as you throw down, kind of flick your wrist a little bit to get some good power into your throw. And you should get your yo-yo sleeping. Once you're ready, flip your hand over and tug up, and it should come back to your hand. And that's the basics for how you can use a responsive yo-yo. From there, you can learn some of the basic tricks like the trapeze, around the world, rock the baby, and other tricks like that. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of how to use a responsive yo-yo. Is that helpful? It's always fun to teach people how to yo-yo. I actually just barely taught a class to some kids from my church yesterday for them to learn how to yo-yo, and so I've got it fresh in my head on how to teach the beginner throws. Indeed he is. Yo, we got Des here. Welcome, welcome. Totally agree with you. He is the king, and we appreciate it. Appreciate you sharing your love of Jesus. I do as well. Although I normally don't make this stream about religion or politics, so I probably won't go too much further than that, but I totally agree. Yeah, it's true. It's definitely a good message. Just try not to spam too much, even though it's definitely the truth. Yo, what's up, Josiah? How's it going? Appreciate you being here. So, Des, I don't remember if you were on the stream yesterday, but we got some new tricks. Ah, dude, that bind almost worked. It was so close. Wholeheartedly agree with you, Chris. Wholeheartedly agree with you. Not entirely sure how we got on this topic, but I also am definitely not against it. It's nighttime for you, but you'll stay and watch for a little bit. That's fine. Yeah, no worries. I'm probably going to be doing a bit of a shorter stream right now. And then if I'm feeling up to it after I play some games with some friends, if I'm still up to it afterwards, I might hop back on. My sleep schedule has been really weird over the last week or two, and so I've been going to bed pretty late and my wife's been going to bed super early. And so I get kind of bored at night, and so I end up finding myself streaming more often than not. Hey, that's nice. Headphones can sometimes give me a headache, so I feel that not having to wear headphones is really nice, actually. Yo, I appreciate the shout out, Des. If you all are enjoying the stream, do leave a like. We do appreciate it. That way, more people can enjoy yo-yo tricks. Oops. You got 3.0 hook at school? Yo, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, no, that's fair. Lately I've been doing that too lately. Seeing just yo-yoing a bunch before I go to bed just because, I don't know, I'm just not tired yet. Which is weird because I'm usually the one that wants to go to bed early. And now my wife is it was weird because my wife was the night owl for our whole marriage. And then now that we've had our sleep schedules messed up from jet lag, she's going to bed at 8 p.m. and I'm going to bed at 2 or 3 a.m. which is the complete opposite of what we normally do, which is hilarious. How'd work go? It was good. Just still getting used to the new job. Lots of things to learn. Still trying to figure out, exactly where my team fits into the work, but we'll get there. It's only day 2 or 3, day 3 at this point, so I've still got plenty of time to figure it out. But thanks for asking. I appreciate it. It was wild though, because like on Monday, I had to travel to another city because that's where the office is. So I went there for orientation, right? Um, and when I was waiting to get the Uber to go back on the bus to go back to my city, which is like 4 hours away from where the office is, like someone literally got arrested in the lobby of the office that I was in while I was in the lobby, and it was like really stressful. So it made for a very eventful first day of work, I'll tell you that. You're welcome, Asuka. Lots of practice, Panda the dog. Yo, that's cool that you can work at your parents' restaurant. What kind of restaurant do they have? Also, sorry if I left it on a cliffhanger. For those still asking, I think some guy was like drunk and like walked into the lobby of the office and started like confronting a security guard. I don't think he was gonna do anything, but it was clear that he was very aggravated and cussing up a storm at the security guard, and so there were a bunch of police cars that came and tried to calm him down, and who knows what. I left before it got too hairy. But I did not expect to have that happen on the first day of work. It's like New Orleans scene. Yeah, no kidding. Can you show me how to get the yo-yo back into your hand? Yeah. I'm glad that you asked because I actually have a responsive yo-yo prepared right here. And I was just teaching people how to do this yesterday. So, I was talking about this a little bit earlier, but what you want to do, and this would be a lot easier if I wasn't wearing gloves. So let me take the glove off just to make it a little easier to see. Okay, so you got your yo-yo in your hand. You want the string to be on top of the yo-yo as opposed to being underneath. It makes it a lot easier to aim when you throw. And what you'll do is you'll form a muscle with your arm, and as you go down to throw the yo-yo, you'll also do a little bit of a flick of the wrist to get some good power into your throw so that you can throw down. Your yo-yo should then be spinning. It may not necessarily be straight, but you'll get better at it with practice. And to get it back to your hand, you tug up with your hand after you flipped it over. And that should bring it back up. Yeah, I agree, Josiah. It is always sad when that kind of stuff happens. But I'm glad it wasn't anything worse than that. Yeah, no problem, Matthew. I'm glad that was helpful. If you do that, that's how you do that for a responsive yo-yo. But for those of you in the chat that are learning how to do unresponsive, you'll have to perform a bind, which you can do. I will again take off the glove to make this easier to see. But what you do is you'll throw the yo-yo with your dominant hand, and you'll drape the string over your non-dominant hand over the top, like so. And as you do that, you'll bring it down so that the yo-yo comes up, and you'll put the string into the gap of the yo-yo. And then from here, you'll pinch and go down with your non-dominant hand and up with your dominant hand, and as you can see, it'll start to bind. It's hard to show it in real time without it actually binding, but the idea being that once you're here, you go down with your non-dominant hand and up with your dominant hand, and you'll get yourself a nice clean bind. And that's the basics for how to get your yo-yo up, whether you have a responsive yo-yo or an unresponsive yo-yo. So I hope that helps. And thanks for asking. You got dead last. So believe it or not, Josiah, I literally did get dead last in off stream. I checked. So I don't know if you if you figuratively got dead last, but I literally got dead last, even with like the hardest routine I've ever done. But that's mainly because I made mistakes that cost me a ton in the evals, and I didn't really do any choreography. So I made the mistake of just like doing hard tricks and not doing a real routine, which is like, it's a rookie mistake, man. You'd think after 15 years I would have thought that through, but it happens sometimes. Yeah, I was 4A pro, but it's okay. All I've learned a lot from it, and I got, it was a good benchmark because I finally did solo hum in a freestyle for the first time, and so now that I've had one freestyle where I've done solo hum, I can hopefully do better at future freestyles when I do solo hum and not screw up the trick immediately. You probably got last on 1A Sport. I don't know if I saw your freestyle, Josiah. There were a ton of sport freestyles. So I don't know if I was able to catch every single one of them. But I'm sure you did just fine. No. What happened? Okay, we're good. We are good. Got an interesting little picture trick when you do ninja vanish like that. It's always a fun one. Let's see here. It's always fun to do picture tricks. You were trying to make it easier so you wouldn't, so you were trying to make it easier, so that made it score lower. That's the hard part, is like balancing the difficulty with something that you can actually land. I opted for a freestyle that was a little bit harder than I could realistically land. Whereas you might have overcorrected the other direction. But either way, we ended up with the same result, unfortunately. I'm sorry to hear that. But yes, absolutely. Read the rules if you want to do well in any category of yo-yo competition. It'll help a lot with preparing. Yo, how's it going, Aaron? How's it going, Ethan? I was just talking about it. It was a good benchmark freestyle, but I got dead last because I made too many mistakes and didn't actually choreograph much. And so I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm going to focus a little bit more on evals and make sure that I go for tricks that I'm pretty confident in landing. Not necessarily to like totally remove difficult tricks that are riskier, but just to make sure that the tricks that I go for are tricks that I can most of the time land. Which a lot of my tricks were, but there were a couple of tricks, especially at the very beginning, that caused me a lot of issues. That are tricks that I kept telling myself were easy tricks, but then I just kept missing them anyway, which means that they're not easy for me. Very true, Des. Like, don't feel like you have to take like it super seriously. I mean, I know a lot of people do simply because it's an online contest. But like, everybody has their own priorities, right? And if you're just there to try and learn the competition or just to have fun, then have fun and just enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with just enjoying the contest, right? And the more you compete, the better you'll get at it, and you'll start to figure out what works for you and your style, and it'll be fine. Don't be that one guy. Fair enough. Yo, how's it going, Richards? Hardest 1A trick. Alright, hardest 1A trick. Probably, oh man, I almost did that first try. But it's a trick from Hunter where you do a whip to a double or nothing. But when you do that whip to double or nothing, you're supposed to land it on the back string so that you can open it up into an Eiffel Tower. And it's so hard to land on that back string, man. Because I always want to land on the front string. But, come on. No. No. It's okay. You get the idea anyway. Wholeheartedly agree with you there, Josiah. I felt the same way. I felt like I could do a lot better as well too, and it was frustrating knowing that it just didn't go as well as I hoped. But that's life sometimes. And you can learn from that experience and hopefully do better next time. And there's nothing wrong with it being a learning experience. Yo, welcome from Indonesia, Ozka. That's awesome. I wish I knew more Indonesian. It's all in the practice, Richards. Don't worry. Like, there's plenty of people that learn harder tricks than this in a much shorter period of time. I'm just chilling and having a good time yo-yoing. Yep, we're all still learning, Kyle. Totally agree. Dang, I almost had that. How do you look at the anti results? It should be on anti Instagram. It might be on the anti website too, but I know that it's on their Instagram. You're making a freestyle for fun? Nice. I've been wanting to do that too, just because like I don't know when my next yo-yo contest will be. I really wanted to go to Florida States, but I've got conflicts that weekend, so I don't know when the next one is that I'll be able to go to. So I'm just trying to think of freestyle stuff that I want to do as well. Yo, it's Nate. Definitely agree with that. It's always good to have a freestyle prepared if you can. Not necessarily because you'll always need it, but it's good to have it in the back pocket in case something comes up you didn't expect. What yo-yo am I using? This is the Yo-Yo Friends Paper Cut. It's got this really cool like teal plus like rainbow rims. I really like it. It is a bit faster than I'm used to. I've been using a slightly slower yo-yo, and so I'm getting used to the pacing. It's faster than I expect it to be. Kind of cool. Oh no. How did we get here? Is it a magic knot? It is. Okay, we're good. A little worried there. I thought we were in a dicey situation. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a pretty good yo-yo. I like the paper cut. It's around like 44 or 45 millimeters. I think it's 44 millimeters wide. So it's more in the range of what I'm used to. But it's more angular than a lot of the yo-yos I used growing up, other than like H-shaped yo-yos. How much does it cost? Good question. I think, if I remember right, it's around like 80. I don't quite remember exactly. Believe it or not, I actually won this one in a giveaway contest. It was the only giveaway contest like I've won from social media. And so I don't actually know exactly how much this one costs, but it's somewhere around $80 or $90, I think. But this one's also a B grade, so the B grades would be a lot less expensive too. $84. Well, there you go, right in between 80 and 90. They played it during BE. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if I should laugh or cringe that they played KSI during PE, but that's hilarious. It's got nice response on this one too. It's nice and gets tight lines. It is insane. Yo, how's it going, Guru? Appreciate you being here. Thanks for looking into that, Josiah. I appreciate it. I think since this one is a B grade, it's hard to really price it, but yeah, for the A grades, that would be how much it would be. Yeah, if you're into yo-yos that are, more in a less extreme width, but are still angular and very high performing, this one's a good one. It's also a lot faster than I expect. Not like super speed demon, but like pretty darn fast. Like you can push it pretty good. But sometimes it wants to go a little bit faster than I can really push it. Then, okay. There we go. Lily, I can do the DNA. Is it Yuli or is it Uli? I might have missed it. You don't want it for Christmas. I don't want a lot for Christmas. I just need a DNA. Believe it or not, I actually do sing, like I do sing beyond just memes, but my wife is literally asleep right now, and I think she would not be happy with me if I was singing on stream right now. See if we can finally land a DNA here. Work with me here. There it is. We got ourselves a DNA. We made it. How do I do that? A lot of practice, Guru. I've been yo-yoing for 15 years and I've gotten really into it. And, not for all that whole time, but for several years I've yo-yoed every day. And so I just like to learn new tricks and express myself in different ways using the yo-yo. Now I get to share that with y'all because it's a lot easier to live stream now than it was when I first got into yo-yoing. Yo, thanks. Appreciate it. Dark magic. It is a fire yo-yo. Appreciate the support, y'all. Thanks. Thank you. Glad you appreciate it, Mike. Wait, Josiah, did you really not know that the dark magic was a yo-yo? Like, are you being serious, or are you trolling right now? Because like it's totally fine if you didn't know. I genuinely am curious. Yeah, it's one of the OG Yo-Yo Jam yo-yos. It was the one that Andre Boulay used in literally like every yo-yo expert tutorial. That was 1A. Back when he was on Yo-Yo Jam. Which, speaking of Yo-Yo Jam, the new Rec Stream just got released. The one that Ray remastered with C3 and Yo-Yo Jam. So that's exciting. You're kind of new to yo-yo. That's fine. No worries. I was just curious more than anything. Welcome, that one girl. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Andre kind of got me into yo-yoing too after, well, he got me into unresponsive yo-yoing. My friends initially got me into regular yo-yoing. Ooch from Yomega got me to stick with and learn some tricks. And then Andre was the one that helped me really level up my yo-yoing for unresponsive once I learned all the classic beginner tricks. it's a sick yo-yo. Like it looks really good, Ethan. I'm really curious how it plays because I never had a chance to play the original Rex Dream, but it was like the go-to off string for a while there. That and the Fiesta. Yo, welcome that one girl. Appreciate being here. Thanks for hanging out with us as we yo-yo and chat. It's entrancing. Is there a certain pattern you have to learn to not tangle it? Kinda. Um, it comes with experience from getting it tangled a lot, is how you learn what things lead to getting tangled or into knots. And then you slowly learn how to avoid those things or use them to your advantage. Because like for example, this technically, if I dropped this formation, it would form a knot around my yo-yo, but I can still use this formation to my advantage to do tricks, right? And so, it comes with time and practice. And as for the momentum, it's, again, kind of comes with practice, but it's a lot in having like equal but opposite force between your two arms. So like, for example, like as the yo-yo is spinning around my left hand, I'm kind of pulling it with my right arm. And so like I try and keep the momentum relatively consistent, and it comes with like, that opposite kind of like force from both arms, right? Are they expensive? Sometimes. This one is around $80 or $90 depending on the colorway you get. But I have other yo-yos like this one that are also really capable, maybe not quite as good, but still very capable that you can get for 10 or 15. So it really depends. There's a lot of yo-yos for a lot of price points. Yeah, very true, Josiah. You have to get the tangles to understand how to avoid them. Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying it, Shirley. Oof. I did not. Getting some fun comments today. Yeah, there are a lot of viewers today. Thanks everybody who's new, who's here. Appreciate you being here, and I hope you're enjoying the tricks. It's always fun to be able to share tricks with more people. So if you're enjoying the stream, do consider subscribing if you'd like to be notified for more streams. Whenever I go live, you'll get a notification. And if you're available, I'd love to have you come hang out and chat. Of course, no pressure, but if you're interested in it, by all means, go for it. I got to 1.3 today, Des, in my stream from my lunch break today. But I got really close yesterday. Yeah, Mike, that happens. Like I have definitely accidentally hit myself a lot. And in fact, I was looking at my hand earlier today, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I bruised like my pointer finger a ton from from the yo-yo snagging. And I also got a pretty good bruise right there. It's hard to see in the lighting because the lighting is kind of behind this. But yeah, like it's part of the reason I wear the gloves is it doesn't hurt as bad when I mess up. And also to help with the string burn. You're welcome, Flavia. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, it's absolutely, it's how you learn, just like what Josiah said. And I've actually probably hit my hand more playing off string than I have any other division. But it's what you kind of have to go through that process to learn how to avoid it. But you can also ask around, and people can definitely help you avoid some of those issues. But some of it just comes from learning how the yo-yo responds. You found an Insta called Yo-Yo Fails and it's hilarious. I might need to look into that actually. That I feel like that would be pretty funny. You're gonna get a yo-yo? Nice. I hope you enjoy it, man. If you need any recommendations, you got several yo-yo players in the chat, and so I'm sure we could give some good recommendations on beginner yo-yo. My go-to beginner yo-yo to recommend is the snapback. I realized I'd been misspeaking before. I said the spin star before, but I remember now it's actually the snapback. I like that one a lot for beginners. Because it's quite responsive, but it spins really well. More so than other beginner yo-yos that I've tried. And so I feel like it would make it easier to learn tricks because you're not going to immediately run out of spin, right? Oh yeah, you were telling me about that the other day, Des. You got like a black eye from yo-yoing. My goodness. I hope that you got, that you cleaned it up and that you're feeling better. Like, a yo-yo to the eye does not sound very appealing. You're gonna wear a helmet when you start. When you're learning beginner tricks, you're less likely to hit yourself. The thing is, as you get into riskier tricks, your likelihood of hitting yourself like increases dramatically. So like when you're doing horizontal tricks, when it's like right by your face, like you're more likely to get hit, right? Yo, thanks, Eli. Is that the Eli I think it is? Is that Eli from Korea, Eli? Because if so, dude, yo, long time no see, my friend. How are you doing? It's so good to see you, dude. Dude, that is so hype. I actually just got back from Korea last week, dude. Dude, how have you been? That's awesome. How did you even find this stream? Oh, and yes, absolutely, Josiah. Neck tricks are as sketchy as all get out. It just came up, yo. Dude, for those of you who don't know, when I lived in Korea, I literally roomed with Eli. Like we worked together in Korea when we were there as volunteers for our church, and like, bro, he's the bomb. Eli's awesome. Dude, that's so cool. Trying to untie a knot. All this talk about getting your yo-yo tangled. There's a good example of me getting my yo-yo tangled. Yo, I appreciate it. Eli, thanks for the support, and I hope you have a good evening, my friend. It's so good to see you, man. Yes. Yes. The neck tricks look so cool, but they're sketchy as all get out. And like, I did a challenge where I used a semi-responsive yo-yo for neck tricks, and bro, it scares the crap out of me. Yo, thanks, Eli. I appreciate it, man. You have a good night. DNA, I got you, fam. One moment. Let me get my string tension good for it. Okay. What? It like started a DNA and then it's like, how about no? I'm like, excuse me? What is going on? Ah. And now we have. Let me use a yo-yo that's made for the DNA. Show you why there are different yo-yos, But I have a video of it, Josiah, like, of doing, like, sketchy, unresponsive tricks with a Duncan mosquito. That's kind of a DNA. Yeah, I actually did like a whole series on it of shorts, and bro, it once you get used to it, it's not too bad to figure out the response when it's semi-responsive. But bro, getting used to it and trying to do like a ninja vanish on a yo that's gonna respond, you're just like scared out of your mind the entire time. That's ChatGPT. Oh boy. Can I do a DNA trick on my head? I can do one with my neck, but with my head would result in an injury almost certainly. Let me try that again. There we go. Neck tricks for days. Can I do Godspeed? I can give it a shot. I can give it a go. Uh, I've noticed, so that's the thing is I've noticed with this plastic yo-yo that Godspeed just doesn't work the way that I want it to. So let me try on a yo-yo that is a little more stable. This is actually a really good example of why I have multiple yo-yos. Because some yo-yos are better for some things than other yo-yos are. And that's okay. And I forgot this has a really long string. But that's fine. Oh my gosh. Dang. It feels so weird using a long string after a short string. Something like that. I think Hunter is taking a break. He's been streaming a ton lately, and especially with the anti-yo-yo contest, I think he's taken a break because he's been streaming a lot. And I don't blame him. He was doing like 4 streams a day, like every day for a month. I think he needs a break. How much do I pay for my yo-yos? It depends on the yo-yo. Some of them are more than others. This one right here is around $55. The plastic one I was just using is 10 or 15. That rainbow rimmed one is around 90. Depends on the yo-yo. Reverse neck stole, oh gosh. Good luck with practicing that. It would scare the crap out of me. Oh, he's also flying home from California. That actually makes sense. I don't have the specific Godspeed yo-yo, but I do know what yo-yo you're talking about. Have I ever won any competitions? No, but I did get second place, which is the best placing I've ever gotten. I got second place in X Division for 4A at United Yo-Yo Contests this year. And my best placing for 1A was 9th place at South Central Regional like 10 years ago, or 11 years ago actually. Should a beginner get a plastic or metal? I would definitely recommend a plastic to start with. It's a lot more forgiving if you mess up, and it's a lot less expensive, and you won't worry too much about dinging it or hurting yourself or others. So I would personally recommend starting with a plastic. Then you can really, play and get to know tricks and just have a fun time without worrying about, like damaging a yo-yo or hurting yourself. Show my best skill. 1 second. Probably that was not what I was going for, but it was cool. What just happened? That was not what we were going for, but it was pretty cool. The best one is probably this whip, but you're supposed to land on the back string like that, and I actually hit it this time. Boom, and we end up in an Eiffel Tower. You're waiting to, I'm not sure if I know what you mean, waiting till Ellen. Yeah, no problem, Mike. Can I do the A and D? I haven't really learned the A and D actually. Like, I know in theory what you're supposed to do, because you're supposed to like grab it from above, right? But like, I've never quite figured out how to like grab the yo-yo, you know what I mean? Do some tricks and you sub. Doing lots of tricks. Is there a specific trick you're interested in? Let's see. Do A and D actual DNA. I'm not sure what I mean, what you mean by that, but like if you're meaning just like a regular DNA. Yeah, it almost worked. We'll try it again. This yo-yo again is not necessarily made for the DNA, which is why I've been swapping around a little bit. Excuse me, it started and then it just stopped. Why? Not sure what just happened with that, but that's okay. We'll use a yo-yo with a finger spin dimple. Makes DNA way easier. Excuse me. Not only did it not DNA, it got an axle knot. Hello. Why? There we go. There we go. DNA. We got it. We got it. We landed it. We got a good DNA finally. Everybody makes the DNA look so easy, but even though it is an easy trick once you kind of get used to it, it's still hard for me to land. Just because it's a trick that's newer for me. But thank you. I appreciate it. And I do the DNA with the Godspeed. I mean, I could try and do like a speed combo and then do a DNA after. Like that. And then, hey, we take those. We take those. I think that counts. Yo, I appreciate it, Alan. Thank you for the support. And also for the trick suggestion. How's it going, Farine? Welcome, welcome. Can I do UFO? I think I actually just did it. The spinning UFO. It's a great way to clean up your string tension after doing a DNA, actually. Makes it a lot easier to hit a DNA, is when you have slightly loose string tension. Alright, I'll see you around, Des. Thanks for hanging out. Eli hops. Always a fun one. You're scrolling, you see this? Hey, appreciate it, Hector. Do I like gaming? I do actually. And in fact, I am going to be gaming with some friends in a little bit tonight. So I figured I'd stream beforehand. Because I don't know how late I'll be up gaming. The triangle? Yeah, of course. There's lots of ways to get into the triangle, but one way is by doing that. Nice little Brent stool, which is a whip right into a triangle. But there's actually lots of ways to get into a triangle. What gaming do I play? I don't normally stream it, but I have once before streamed myself playing Poke Rogue. If you've ever played that fan game of Pokemon. It's like a browser-based rogue style Pokemon game. It's kind of fun. But I normally play stuff like Pokemon Unite or Smash Bros. Ultimate or stuff like that. I grew up like playing Pokemon, so I really like Pokemon a lot, especially Gen 3 and Gen 4. Got some circles going on right here. A nice little pinwheel going on. Can I do an Eli hop combo? Come on. Oh no. I'm in a sticky situation. Never mind. We're good. Something like that. Hearthstone? I don't think I've ever played Hearthstone. I can indeed walk the dog. Taking my dog out for an evening stroll and whipping him back. Godspeed. We can give that another go. Whoops. Hang on. Boom. This is my cleanest one in a while. Indeed. Walk the dog is still a fun trick, but you can also do it up your arm. It's called an arm grind when you do it on your arm. Can I do rock the baby? Indeed. It is nighttime after all. A very appropriate nighttime trick. Rocking the baby to sleep. And beating you to it, Eiffel Tower. And of course, around the world. The screen's not quite big enough to show it too well, but you get the idea with that one. There's only so much room in the shot. And I unfortunately can't really move the camera back much. On the arm. Like that kind of. Getting it to go up your arm is actually easier without a glove on. Because the glove lowers the friction so much. Cab? I don't know what you mean by cab. Yo, thanks, man. Hey, Newt, how's it going? Appreciate you being here. I almost forgot that I wanted to add you as a mod, if you don't mind. The DNA. I can do another DNA, don't worry. I got you, fam. Boom. We're getting better DNAs today. Sorry, Ace, I'm only adding mods of people I actually know in real life or from the yo-yo community. But I appreciate the offer. But I actually do know Newt in real life, and so I feel more comfortable having people I know as mods. But I appreciate it. Banana turnover. Like that. No. Horizontal tricks are fun. Godspeed as fast as you can with a DNA at the end, rock the baby in a triangle, and Eiffel Tower. Man, that sounds impossible. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna meme on the TikTok format. Sure, I can try. I can give that a try. I don't know the trick Sloppy Toppy, but I'm gonna try this combo that was recommended by Casey. Let's see here. So it's Godspeed with a DNA, then rock the baby with a triangle, and then ending in an Eiffel Tower. See if I can remember all that. Close enough on that one. And then we got our DNA. Maybe. Okay, we got our DNA. And then what was the next one? Rock the baby after we do a UFO really quick to fix the string tension. We got ourselves our rock the baby. We got a triangle. And then what was the last one? Eiffel Tower. And then boom, Eiffel Tower. Boom. Believe it or not, I actually don't know how to make a star with this string. I probably should have learned that by now, but for whatever reason, I never did. You're gonna grind out evals? Dude, I need to grind out evals too. Did you see my eval score? Like my eval score in 4, it was trash. Oh man, I didn't do any eval planning at all. In case anybody's curious what evals are, if you're not into competitive yo-yoing, it's like the presentation or like the performance aspect of it. So like how well your yo-yo, like your tricks go with like the music or like big moments in the song or like, you know, having a routine that kind of like makes sense together. And I mainly just went for hard tricks. And so as opposed to like really making a performance out of it, so my score was pretty low in that category, unfortunately. Sloppy Toppy is cool. Hunter's amazing at it. I might have to look it up. I've never heard of it before, but that does sound like a trick that Hunter would name. He has some really cool tricks that are very hard. My hardest trick, and could I teach you? Sure. So my hardest trick, I don't know how well I'll be able to teach it, but I will do my best. So my hardest trick is this whip straight into a double or nothing. But it's super hard to get your hands in there at the right time with the whip. There we go. So that's the first aspect of the trick, but you're supposed to land on the back string instead of the front string so that you can turn your hand over and into a tower. So there's a lot going on there. So to start, I'd really recommend learning 2 specific tricks first. The first being a single laceration, that's what this trick is called. And then the next being either black hops, which is that kind of trick, or Kuijibo. But something where, a trick where you hop the yo-yo up and you intercept the string with your other hand. That kind of motion is really important for this trick. And so what you end up doing is you combine those two elements. So you have your basic laceration, right? But you're going to need more time than that to get your hands to intercept the string a couple more times. So I'll show it in a couple of parts. So first, you want to be able to do it where you can whip around this hand, intercept the string, and land in a dismount. But then you have to do it one more time to be able to get it to the double or nothing, which is why it's so hard and why you need to kind of whip it up really high, or pop it up really high, excuse me. And then lastly, is once you have that motion down, instead of landing it on the front string, you want it to land on the back string, which is really hard to do. And then finally, you curl your non-dominant hand in and unwind, and you're in a tower. So there's a lot going on there. Hunter was the one that taught it to me. It's a pretty advanced trick. It's definitely my hardest trick because, well, it's Hunter's trick. And he does it while turning and like spinning around and doing it over his head. So yeah, he's very good at teaching it. So I'd recommend asking him as well too. He goes live pretty often on here as well. Getting lots of requests for Godspeed today. I'll do one more Godspeed and then I gotta bounce because I'm gonna be gaming with some friends tonight. So, last Godspeed. Boom. We take those. Awesome. Well, thanks, y'all. Appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the live, please do leave a like and subscribe so you can be notified for future lives if that's something you're into. But yeah, with that, have a good night. I'll see you around.